Good evening. This is your evening briefing for Sunday, the 12th of April, 2026. The latest roundup spans failed ceasefire talks between the US and Iran, naval activity in the Strait of Hormuz, an Australian fuel update, and several police and crash investigations across New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland. Leading the briefing, the US and Iran have ended face-to-face ceasefire talks in Islamabad without an agreement, and Vice President JD Vance has returned home after leading the US delegation. Vance says the talks lasted about 21 hours, but the two sides did not bridge their differences over an affirmative commitment from Iran that it will not seek a nuclear weapon. Also in the briefing, US Central Command says the guided missile destroyers USS Frank E. Peterson and USS Michael Murphy transited the Strait of Hormuz and began mine-clearing operations in the Arabian Gulf. CENTCOM says more US forces, including underwater drones, will join the effort in the coming days. Meanwhile, the US military says the guided missile destroyers USS Frank E. Peterson and USS Michael Murphy transited the Strait of Hormuz and operated in the Arabian Gulf as part of a broader mission to keep the waterway clear of sea mines. Iran disputed the account and warned it would deal severely with military vessels transiting the strait. In other developments, Australia's Energy Minister Chris Bowen says national fuel reserve cover stands at 38 days of petrol, 31 days of diesel and 28 days of jet fuel. He says 57 tankers are on the way carrying fuel, including jet fuel, diesel, petrol and crude oil, and that the figure reflects reserve cover rather than everything physically in the market. Elsewhere, Bankstown detectives are investigating two shootings in Western Sydney that police say may be linked. Shots were fired into homes on Columbine Avenue in Punchbowl and Noble Avenue in Greenacre in the early hours of Sunday, and police say the gunfire came from unknown vehicles that fled the scene. Also today, police are asking for help to find 22-year-old Nirali Patel, who was reported missing from Pendle Hill in Sydney's west. She was last seen on Warman Street around 5:30 a.m, and officers say her disappearance is out of character. They describe her as about 160 centimetres tall, with long black hair, brown eyes, and a butterfly tattoo on her right forearm. Separately, police are asking for help to find 16-year-old Malachi Gray, who was reported missing from Camden South and last seen there at about 11 p.m. on Tuesday, April 7. Officers say he has a medical condition, describe him as Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander, between 165 and 170 centimetres tall, with a large build, dark hair and a rat's tail beard, and ask anyone with information to contact police or Crime Stoppers. In other news, Victoria Police are investigating a fatal crash in Narre Warren East after emergency crews were called to Wellington Road near Muddy Creek Road just after 4 a.m. following reports of a vehicle fire. Police say the vehicle had been travelling north before hitting a tree and catching fire. The sole occupant died at the scene, and a stretch of Wellington Road between Monash Road and Edeballs Road remains closed for a forensic examination. Turning to another story, New South Wales Ambulance has inducted 116 paramedic interns and 21 emergency medical call takers at the State Operations Centre in Sydney. The recruits are the second group to join the service this year, and many started their first shifts immediately as they prepare for roles across New South Wales. And finally, Queensland Police are investigating a 3-vehicle crash on Tamborine Mountain Road in Mount Tamborine that happened at 10:38 a.m. today. Investigators say an eastbound vehicle collided with a motorcycle and another vehicle coming the other way, sending the motorcyclists, both drivers and 3 passengers, to hospital, with 2 people in critical condition. That is your evening briefing.